Hey, what is up YouTube? Ginno here today with my new review for the Exo-Cbx album Blooming Days. This came out earlier this week. I've had a chance to listen to it a fair few times. However, unlike most reviews I do, which I do at a time where I feel like doing a review is necessary and I can do it and it's fine, this is a little bit early. I usually would want a little bit longer before I actually do a proper review of it, but unfortunately I've got a lot coming up over the next week, and I know that if I leave it any longer, I'm just never actually going to do it. So I'm just going to do a quick run through the tracks. I haven't really got too many criticisms overall for the album, but personally I do quite like it. It's a good solid mini album and I enjoy it a lot. So I'm just going to talk about my favourite track. Blooming Day and Vroom Vroom are both highlights. I think they're very strong tracks with well worked instrumentals, blending a number of different genres, some sort of older, more sort of pop styles, and then they've got that R&B down to just a perfect level. It works incredibly well for the type of vocals that they go for. It's a very smooth album, really. The whole album's very smooth, but particularly these two tracks are very good. I then also like the follow-on from Vroom Vroom, which is Playdate. That's a really nice transition between those two tracks. In general, the second half of that album is probably superior overall. I'm not so keen on Sweet Dreams and Thursday. I think they're sort of those middle of the water tracks. Very heavy on the vocals, a little bit too slow. There's not much there in terms of keeping me interest, but because it's such a short album, I stick through it every time. There's no need to skip over those tracks because it's such a short album. You know, like today I was listening to it on the plane. I listened to it a couple times on the plane actually, the whole album. Thought that was really actually quite a relaxing thing to do. The R&B blends on here are perfect. I think it matches Exo-Cbx's style incredibly well. These sort of colourful, glitzy pop R&B blends. And I think that's what they should probably go for in the future. Girls was certainly a bit like that. Hey Mama was a little bit less down that path, a little bit more towards the pop end of the spectrum. But it seems to be where they're heading, and I quite like that. Something I do appreciate as well is that they know what they're good at and they know what they're not good at. There aren't many hip-hop parts in these tracks. So appreciate it. I hate it when groups force in a little rap section in a song because it makes it more appealing to the general public or something like that. I don't really know why they do it. I'm pretty sure most Korean audiences don't like that, and I don't like it as well. It means the song is very uncohesive. It doesn't really make sense in a lot of songs, especially when it's such a heavy vocal thing. So I'm glad they don't do that during this album. You know, even if it was like Baekhyun or Schumann doing it. Chen, I don't think I've ever seen Chen do a rap part, but Schumann has done rap parts in the past, and Baekhyun has for CBX as well, and I've never enjoyed it. It just doesn't work with their voices. They're too soft, they're too I don't know what it is actually with their voice. It just doesn't work. Something else they seem to have stick clear of is any sort of heavy rock sounding instrumentals. All these instrumentals are very smooth, slow, melodic heavy with these lovely piano synthesizers throughout. Individually, in terms of the songs, I think they're all nicely produced. I think Thursday was a little bit lazy. It didn't really have a very distinct instrumental. It was very bland, but it was still, you know, fairly nicely put together. And yeah, that's actually all I really wanted to say about the album. For me, it's a solid 7 out of 10. I wouldn't say it's any more than that, just because it is, you know, it's just a mini album, it's short. I thought some of the tracks maybe could have been a little bit more experimental. They were quite safe, but I think a 7 out of 10 makes sense. It's not quite up there with Girls. I really enjoyed Girls, but I do think Girls was better than this one actually overall. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to leave a like and a comment. Suggest videos you want to watch in the future. This will be the only video for today, probably. We'll see. I hope you're liking the stuff happening on the channel. It's cool. All good. Ginno signing out. See you guys soon.
She always with the shits. Put 100 in my pocket and 100 on the rims. That's my little bitch. That's my little bitch. That's my little bitch. That's my little bitch. Put a red dress on her and some gas for the trip. Got 100 in my pocket and a couple on the tin. That's my little bitch.